everybody, and welcome back to my channel. And it is officially Christmas around here. So Tyler has a rule where I'm not allowed to decorate for Christmas until it's officially after Thanksgiving. So that of course means that the day after Thanksgiving, I am making the whole house very Christmassy, which has already happened. But today is actually December 1st, which marks the second part of my annual Christmas traditions. And that is because it's the first day of Advent calendars. So I'm really excited to have a week of Christmassy reading, Christmassy Advent calendars, and just getting into the holiday spirit. Tyler and I have actually already been to a Christmas Carol. We've been really enjoying going to see a lot of plays this year, and so we went to see that a couple of days ago. So you saw some of those clips at the beginning of this video, and it was just such a great way to get into the spirit. And another great way that I'm planning to get into the spirit this week is my Christmassy reading. So I will be reading Always in December by Emily Stone. This cover really just made me have all of the Christmassy wintry feels. And so it says on the back, every December, Josie mails a letter from her home in London to the parent she lost on Christmas night many years ago. Every time she writes the same 3 words, missing you always. But one year, her annual trip to the mailbox is knocked off course when her bicycle collides with a handsome stranger, a stranger who will change Josie's life. Sounds like the perfect holiday romance to get me into the Christmas spirit. So I'm excited to dive into this one this week. Haven't read a Christmassy romance in a while, so this is going to be a real treat. And speaking of treats, this year I am doing this 24 Teas of Christmas calendar for my tea advent calendar. This actually has a bit of a story behind it because it got lost in the mail. I had to get a whole replacement. It was a lot of drama, but it finally got here in time for December 1st. And my first tea I actually opened this morning. So the first tea this morning was Himalayan green tea, and it was so delicious. I enjoyed this with a slice of banana bread this morning. So I'm excited to dive into this each day up until Christmas. But of course, I always go super over the top when it comes to something seasonal, especially advent calendars. So I got another calendar, which is the Anthropology Beauty Calendar. And so I'm going to be opening this one and seeing what day one is. I absolutely love this packaging, by the way. It's so gorgeous. And when you open up, it has all of this beautiful, beautiful packaging. All right, so this is box 1. Has candy canes all over it. My guess, maybe a soap? Not sure. They're all beauty products of some sort. Ooh. So this is a nail polish, and it looks like it's a shimmery grayish nail polish, and it's actually a really decent size. So I'm excited to do my nails with this. I currently have nothing on the nail, so this is coming in perfect timing. So yeah, this has been day 1 of the advent calendars, and I cannot tell you how much of a treat it is to open these every day. It just makes me so excited that it's Christmas time and that it's December. It just puts me in the perfect mood. Let me know if you guys are doing advent calendars this year and what you typically do for advent calendars. But with that, I'm going to get cozy on the couch, and I think I'm going to start Always in December and see what I think of the beginning of this one. So it's currently Tuesday, and I decided to film this clip in my living room as we have the tree up, and it is much more festive in here than it is in the dark bedroom. And I have made it through most of the way, actually, of Always in December. I tried to do a middle of the book wrap up, but I just kept reading with this one, so I figured I better do it now, or there is not going to be any middle of the book content for this one. So this book takes a bit of a darker tone to the classic holiday romance. And while most Christmassy romances really follow the comfort and the joy of the season, being surrounded by those you love, finding new loves, this book takes on a bit of a darker tone, but also a familiar one for many of us, and that is the loss that many people feel with the holiday season, whether that's people that have died since the last time the holiday was celebrated, remembering holidays past when people used to be there, or if someone had died on this specific holiday, which was the case for Josie. So when she was 9 years old, her parents died in a car accident heading back from a Christmas party. And so every year at this time of the year, she just becomes saddened while everyone else is putting up their beautiful Christmas trees and getting excited for the season. She kind of retreats within herself. But one thing that she does every year as a tradition is writes a letter to her parents, telling them how much she loves them, how much she misses them, and wishes they were there. And so just before Christmas, she's written her letter, she sealed it up in an envelope, and she has jumped on her bike to bike through the snowy streets of London to drop it in a mailbox. But as she is doing this, she rides headfirst into a very attractive stranger, and he actually is a bit lost like Josie too, and isn't with his family and isn't celebrating the season like many others are. And so these two lost souls kind of find each other just before the holidays and build a relationship, and the spark between them grows. From there, the first part of the book kind of follows them going to all the traditional Christmas rom-com things, skating, Christmas parties, Christmas shopping, the snowy London streets. It's just so charming to be surrounded by that festive atmosphere. And I really loved that part of the story, just getting to take in all of the beauty of London around Christmas time. However, I don't really feel the connection between these two characters, apart from the fact that Christmas is not either of their favorite times of the year, apart from the fact that they're alone this particular Christmas, and they're both young and attractive and happen to run face on into each other. I feel like their actual emotional connection isn't as drawn out as I would like for it to be. And I think that's particularly Max's problem. He's the male protagonist in this story, and I just don't feel like he has much of a personality, to be honest. Josie is really the character that I relate to the most, that I'm most interested in hearing her story. But Max is just kind of there to be the brooding male protagonist and to just fill that place in the story. And so I think that aspect of it is a bit lacking. Without giving too much away, about midway through the book, there is a bit of a change in direction where we no longer are in the December Christmassy scenes. We have actually moved to a different time period. And while I think that it will be a good thing for the plot in the end, as it builds a bit more around these characters and it's not just all of the superficial kind of get to know you scenes at the beginning, I do feel like it's a bit jarring the way that it's written, and I'm struggling to enjoy those parts as much because it's really the festive atmosphere and the December of this book that I love so much. But maybe I think as the book comes to a close, if we get closer to that, we might be moving back to some more of those festive scenes. Having said that, while there are some things in this book that don't quite work for me, I am really enjoying reading a book that's a bit less conventional, a book that deals with parts of the holiday that are harder to deal with. You know, not everybody has this joyous, happy holiday. And while there are parts of this book that are definitely joyful and kind of fill you with all of those holiday happies, it's not this whole book. And I like that this really addresses that. So I'm looking forward to see how this one will conclude, what the last 50 pages have, if it will end like the classic holiday romance or if it has another big twist in it before the end. Now, I have been enjoying Christmas books so much right now, and this one has just really put me in the holiday spirit. So I was looking around for my next read, and my shelves were just not inspiring me at all. But Book of the Month came up trumps because it got delivered today, and I believe I picked a holiday romance for this one. While I usually do thrillers, I decided that it was time to branch out a bit and try something else. All right, let's see. Ooh, this looks so good. Oh, and they have a little Christmassy card in here. Season's greetings and happy reading. May your books be merry and bright. Oh, it's a sticker thing. That is so lovely. Thank you, Book of the Month. I will definitely decorate some of my bookmarks with those. And the book that I picked for the month of December was Kiss Her Once for Me. All right, let's see what it's about. It says, 1 year ago, recent Portland transplant Ellie Oliver had her dream job in animation and a Christmas Eve bookstore meet cute with a woman she fell in love with over the course of a single night. But after a betrayal the next morning and the loss of her job soon after, she finds herself adrift, alone, and desperate for money. Since finding work at a local coffee shop, she's just getting through the days until Andrew, the shop's landlord, proposes a shocking drunken plan, a marriage of convenience that will give him his recent inheritance and alleviate Ellie's financial woes and isolation. They decide to spend the holidays together at his family cabin to keep up the ruse. But when Andrew introduces his new fiancée to his sister, Ellie is shocked to discover that his sister is Jack, the mysterious woman she fell for last Christmas Eve. Now, over one festive week, Ellie must choose between the safety of a fake relationship and the risk of something real. Ooh, that sounds really, really good. I'm very excited for this. And the cover is really doing it for me as well. So I think after I finish Always in December, I might jump right into my next festive read and keep all of the good vibes going. So with that, I don't have too many plans today. However, my friend Louise has decided to adopt another cat. She used to have 2 cats. One of them unfortunately passed away about 5 months ago, and so now she has just had one. But after a long time kind of mourning the loss of her pet, and I am definitely of the belief that pets are part of the family, she has decided that she wants to adopt another cat. So this past weekend, we went to the animal shelter and she found the sweetest 1-year-old girl and decided that she was going to bring her home on Thursday, so 2 days from now. Her original name at the shelter was Zara, but she is going to elect for the name Olive, which actually has a bit of a funny story behind it. We actually went to Olive Garden after going to the animal shelter and decided that Olive was the perfect name for this cat given everything. So I think I'm going to be going to the store with her to pick up a few things to bring Olive home and get everything settled for her. And then I'm very excited on Thursday to see how the cats get along. Usually it's a little rough knowing cats, but we will see. I'm just so excited for her to have another cat in her life, and me being a cat lady, as you can see by this shirt that says Merry Catmas, am always down for some more feline love. So that is all that's on the schedule for today. A bit more reading, maybe a bit of shopping later. But with that, I'm excited to get on with the day and go pick up some things with Lou for her new cat friend. currently Friday, and normally I would have the day off today. However, I've been called in to work the night shift, which is not my favorite news to hear today, but that's okay. I do have some great reading to accompany me if there is some downtime. So with that, let me chat with you guys about my updates for Kiss Her Once for Me by Allison Cochran. So I am on chapter 9, so I'm just about like 90 pages through, and so far I am just absolutely loving this book. So if I had to describe this book in one word, it would be refreshing. Refreshingly honest, refreshingly funny, refreshingly realistic. It feels like a nice breath of fresh winter air just blowing into the genre of holiday contemporary romances, and I'm just here for it. So we're following Ellie, who lives in Portland, and she works at a coffee shop called Roastlandia, which definitely is a bit of a spoof of the characters from Portlandia, where she serves very hipster but very specific, honestly kind of rude customers most of the time, and she's trudging her way through the wintry Portland snows to make it to her job, and without a doubt she has been in a rut over the past year. One Christmas ago, she met the girl of her dreams at a meet cute in a bookstore, Powell's in Portland, and had the most perfect night. However, since that time, she's just been trudging through her job, trudging through her love life, just trying to navigate her situation. She's honestly not super happy about it. One of my favorite things about this book is the way that Ellie's social anxiety is described. Feels so real after having read Always in December, in which our main character, while she's dealt with a lot of trauma, her character didn't quite come to life as much as Ellie does in this story. And so I wanted to read you just a brief little bit where she discusses that. So she's at the coffee shop talking with one of her friends, and her friend says, "I'm meeting up with some friends at these new food carts off Alberta after work. You interested?" I bristled at the dilemma she's placed before me. Ari means this invitation as a kindness, but my social anxiety is of the crippling variety. I could say yes, could agree to hang out with Ari and her Portland hipster friends later, but then later will invariably arrive, and I will invariably have a terrible stomach ache at the thought of leaving my apartment to go somewhere new. I will agonize over how to get out of the plans until I finally send a text with some half-assed excuse Ari will see right through. And then I'll sit on my couch watching Avatar: The Last Airbender for the 10th time and working on my webcomic, consumed by guilt over both my deception and my cowardice. Regardless of whether I tell Ari yes or no, I'm going to spend my Tuesday night watching Avatar, so I might as well skip all the painful anxiety-induced in-between bits. I think that's just a perfect depiction of kind of the hopelessness of the struggle that she's facing at the beginning of this book. But of course, then she has one drunken night out with the landlord of Roastlandia, known as Andrew, who is very, very handsome, and she honestly didn't want to go out with him, but somehow got forced into it, and through a few circumstances that I won't get into, she agrees to marry him for a sum of $200,000. And so starts the fake relationship trope of this book, which so far is very, very charming. Now, we do get flashbacks into the meet cute from last year, where she did meet this girl, Jack, but most of the book, as of the part that I'm at right now, is focusing more on her experience this year and her experience with Andrew. And I have to say, if I had one complaint of this book so far, it's that the relationship between her and Jack from last year does appear kind of insta-lovey. I'm not really feeling their connection so far, just in the little snippets we have from last Christmas. But I do know that she is about to meet Jack at the family lodge, and that is about to develop, so I'm sure I will get a bit more of their connection as they actually meet in the modern day. Now, without getting too much away, Andrew's family is just so charming, from his grandmother who loves to drink, to the family dog who's named after a character from British Bake Off, to the fact that they live in this beautiful deserted ski chalet. It is the perfect setup for a funny but cozy holiday romance, and that is kind of where I've stopped in this book, but I am so excited to get all the vibes, get the found family vibes, because that is what I'm feeling right now, just as we're getting into the meat of the story. So I will be bringing this with me to the night shift if I do get any downtime to read. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, but it will certainly be coming with me in my bag, and I'm hoping to get some festive holiday reading in. So with that, I'm going to finish watching the end of this very chaotic World Cup game that's going on right now between the Netherlands and Argentina. I'm not even cheering for anybody, but I'm just, having one of those lazy days where you're flipping through the channels and this is what I'm watching. So I'm going to watch the end of this and then I will get ready to go to work. So it's Sunday night and I am popping in to finish up my thoughts for A Kiss Her Once for Me, as well as close up this reading vlog. But before I do, I went to the hairdressers the other day and made a very questionable decision. I decided to get curtain bangs, but I don't know if I like them. I don't know. I thought they were going to look a little different, but that's okay. I feel like maybe it's just that I just got them and so I'm not quite used to them yet. We'll see. Let me know what you guys think. Anyway, so I ended up finishing this one on audiobook, and I actually finished it as I was doing my Christmas shopping, which was just so lovely, like walking around all of the holiday stores and just like the cold winter air and listening to this lovely romance as I was kind of finishing up doing all of that. But I ended up giving this one a 4 stars. It was so delightfully funny, charming, unique. I really appreciated the main character and related to her in a lot of ways. The one thing that knocked it down from being a 5 stars was the miscommunication trope was very present in this book. There was a lot of drama that could have been solved by people just sitting down and talking to each other. And they didn't, of course, because that's the whole plot of the book. If that bothers you, it might bother you in this book. For me, it was just kind of eye-rolling at times, but the other parts of this book made up for that in my mind. So overall, I still enjoyed it and gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. By the way, there are some more graphic sex scenes in here, so prepare yourself if you're going into this one to expect that. All right. So with that, I have finished my week of festive reading. It was such a great week to get me into the spirit. I did watch a couple of my favorite Christmas movies, including Love Hard, which is one on Netflix that I highly, highly recommend if you have not seen it already, as well as the new one they put out this year called The Noel Diary, which I actually really enjoyed too. So it's just been a great week to get me into the holiday spirit. But with that, I'm going to close up this vlog here. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it, and let me know what books you like to read at this time of the year if you are a festive reader, and if you've read any of these books, of course. And with that, I will see you guys very soon with another video. Bye!